Well, what's going on, guys? So we're gonna do I'm gonna have my wife actually doing a lot of this.
No, you're not.
So she says. But like I said, I made a list of a whole bunch of stuff, and most of it is just checking stuff out. She probably won't do the compression test, but I want her to get, yeah, I want her to get familiar with her car. That way, hopefully it doesn't break down, but it is a Ford. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Ruined?
But hopefully if something breaks, if she's familiar with it, at least she can tell me maybe what's wrong with it if she can't fix it herself. So we're gonna go through. I guess we'll check. We'll do the tires. That'll be easy to do, and check that. Obviously, we'll just check the tire pressure and put either add or take out. Most likely add some pressure on the tires. So we'll do that, and I'll get right back with you, and then we'll jump on to some of this other stuff. All right, hang on. All right, so here's the back of the trunk. Looks like they used the Pour 15 all over the place, which isn't horrible. If you see here, this has state-of-the-art air ride. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so the trunk looks pretty good. It's all pretty solid. I can't really see down there very well. And down here very well. But yeah, we need to get the door lock assembly thing. And I'm assuming we're missing an emblem here. But all in all, there's really not much to do on this. You know, looking at the trunk or the gas tank, it seems pretty solid. So I think we're good on this.
Could you just, for now, stick it in there? There's the key thing, and you just.
Yep. So don't keep the purse back there. Checked all the air in the tires. Now we're at 32 psi. I did see, is it on this side or the other side?
Where's the oil?
It's in the back of your car.
Oh.
Figure that's a good spot to keep it.
Yeah.
So, right there, we'll have to replace that. I mean, it's just feels pretty solid, but as you can see, that's not solid at all. You can see with this one, that one looks all good. Okay, so we need to check the air filter. Air filter's right here.
Yep. Air filter right there. Check. I'm not used to seeing the ground.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad. Maybe it is. I can't see through it. That's not too bad though. Oh, look at that. That is a brand new carburetor. I wonder what goes to that. Well, it doesn't matter, it's all plugged up. And then this should have been on this side, so it can draw air. That's the exhaust side. You want it to draw air from whatever. That's okay. So you don't need to check the carburetor because it's good, or run carburetor cleaner through it because it's good. Nice and clean. So this is your PVC valve. You can hear it running, so that's should be good. I guess let's check the oil on this. Okay, they couldn't see it either. Here's your, get that and pull it out. And then so, whenever you first pull it out, go ahead and wipe it off.
I know that.
Okay.
From my car. Because, you know, it eats oil.
Yes, it does. So, it's in the safe zone. It's on the bottom side of the full mark. Up there is the very full. But whenever the car is cold, the oil is going to be down just because it's not expanded. So we need to do an oil change on it because that's pretty.
You keep using this we. I don't think you know how to use that word.
Yes, I very well know how to use it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you can do it.
No.
You can do it.
I'm not doing it.
So this is your fuel filter.
Can I go in now?
So here's the fuel filter, the fuel filter. It looks pretty good. The hoses. So hoses look pretty good. They are, let's see, here's the upper, where's the lower? Here's the lower down here. Seems pretty good. I can feel the spring inside of it, so we're good on that. Food in there. Let's get a. So I know this is probably pretty good because it got pretty chilly a few times. So we probably need to change this out because this one is just barely floating. That says to 20 degrees. And we were really lucky because it actually got a little bit colder than 20 degrees. So, alright, put that on the list to do. But the actual color, I don't see any rust in it, so that's really good. That means the water pump isn't rusting out and the radiator isn't gone to crap. I don't know how well you can see this, but this upper, I guess this is the condenser. Yeah. Condenser is, let's see my finger, it's kind of separating. That's not ideal. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's pretty bald. So what you do is you put that in the groove, put that flat on there. We have about 30 seconds. So yeah, that definitely needs to be replaced. We got 30 seconds, definitely needs to be replaced. This other front one, it needs to be replaced. The tread is good, but I'll show you there's a lot of dry rot. And then these two, they're both at 30 seconds and not a lot of dry rot. You can see all the cracking and stuff. It's not really into the tire as much as it is the tread. But there's a lot of cupping and stuff like that. So that kind of tells you that the shock may be bad too with the cupping. So we can test the shock. That looks good. Check this one. So shock is good. Just need to replace those two. I guess we can check belts. Belt tension is good. Now let's see. Let's see this or not. Belt doesn't look bad. There's a little bit of a crack there. It's not too bad. And there's not a whole bunch of them either. So then I'll check this one. Hang on. Belts are good. So the battery is pretty new. Shows September of 2017. August, September, and then 17's missing. So that's good. And it looks good. It's not bulging out anywhere. So that's good. Brake reservoir. Just being held on with this little clamp thing. Get in there without getting in your way too much. Okay, so doesn't look horrible. Looks fairly-ish clean. I am going to top it off a little bit though. And whenever we get around to it, we will sandblast this and paint it. I'm just going to use some .3. So I pulled out this little rubber cap, I forget what you call it, but basically it's kind of jammed down in there, but you want to make sure that these are out because this reservoir will come up and down a little bit with the hydraulic pressure. So from what I understand, these kind of keep everything from sloshing around too much. Also with brake fluid, you don't want to get it on your paint, which in this situation isn't horrible because we need to paint the whole car, but it will eat away at your paint and stuff. I guess let's start this up and we'll see how much voltage we're getting out of this. Just to kind of show you, that's at the engine block. We're looking at 60 degrees. Come over here to the headers. Still 60. So we'll get a good idea how good this starts in cold weather. Hang on. Crazy how well that starts up. Yeah, it's starting to get it. So this way we can keep an eye on temperature and all that stuff. Okay, so this is telling us that the alternator is not charging. We should have 14 volts or so. Alright, so as you can see, I think it's charging now. So I think you have to get it up to a certain RPM for it to start charging. But the big problem we got now is the fuel's leaking pretty bad. I don't know how well you can see that now. So we gotta fix that. That might be why it's running a little rough too. Fuel is old though. I was looking and this doesn't have a fan shroud, but not all of these have fan shrouds, which is kind of weird. I might put one in there anyways, just to get better cooling. Overflow. Not all of them had an overflow either. So you can see right now it's not charging. So we'll give it a little bump on the gas. It should kind of excite that coil. There we go, we got charging. That's coming out really fast now. Let me turn this off. I want to see if I can rent a radiator pressure test. And also, because I need to also check this. It kind of looks like it could be bad. And these are pretty cheap. So I need to do that. The fuel pump is leaking like a sieve, so I'm just gonna, usually fuel pumps are pretty cheap, these manual fuel pumps, so I'm gonna see how cheap they are. If they're cheap enough just to replace and get a new one, then I don't have to worry about it. We might go that route. As far as this, the way they said to check in the manual is that it just needs to be filled to the bottom of this spout. Okay, so to check the steering stuff, there we go. Seems pretty good. Bearings need to be repacked. And then check ball joints. That's good. So this one needs a wheel bearing. It's not too bad, but might as well. And then the tie rod. You see the movement? Looks like it's more right here. I know I need to bleed the brakes. Right there looks pretty bad. That's where the battery tray goes. And you can kind of see a hole. No biggie, we'll get it fixed. I got a welder. Alright, let me get back with you.